That's U.S. agent. Yeah. Cool. Hey, if anyone's in the chat, what would be your?
Oh.
Ooh.
Hello, Brian Austin.
Hey, I'm stuck in traffic, man.
Of course, guy. Where are you coming from?
Islington and what's it called? Lakeshore.
Islington and Lakeshore.
Can you hear? Can you hear Glenn? Okay.
No. Well, I can hear you. I heard Anthony.
Anthony's not here.
Anthony? Good Lord.
Anthony's not here.
Oh my God, Anthony's on my brain. What the hell?
You're just worried about him, man. You're worried about him. It's okay. You're actually on the air right now.
Cool. Oh, wicked. So we can talk about Battle Angel?
I don't want to do it like this.
Not
not
like this.
Where exactly are you right now?
I am on the Gardner, and I am hitting up, what's it called? Jameson and the Gardner.
Okay, but you're not getting off at Jameson, right? You're going to take the Gardner to the DVP and up?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Okay.
Those for the folks at home listening in the States, this is our, what's it called? Our roadway system. Kind of like the I-92. Well, no, the 401's kind of like the I-92, isn't it?
Like any highway. I think they get the picture.
Yeah, but it's like the inner city. It seems packed. Our roadway system. Packed up. Kind of like the I-92.
Here, I can put up the volume.
Well,
Can you hear him okay?
Yeah, I can hear him perfectly.
Hey, say something now, Brian.
Kind of like the I-92. I said the traffic is
Whoa,
packed.
that's loud,
more
too.
than-
That's loud.
How about
More
that?
than a fudge factory on Friday.
Oh, wow. Nice
Are
imagery.
you like
Thank you,
trying
Brian.
to spell it out for us? Like it's traffic on Friday?
Here, I can put up the volume.
All
No,
right.
I said
Can you
the
hear
more,
me okay?
I said the traffic here. It's
Hey, say
packed on
something
the
now,
highway more than a fudge factory on Friday.
Oh, that's okay. Can you get me a coffee?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we all.
I'll pay you. I'll pay you.
All of us around here thought you were just calling up to get a coffee. No.
Yeah, I
coffee run.
actually thought you were calling for a coffee run.
Oh, I could grab you guys a coffee. You want
Nice.
double, double, large? What do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
Thank
go-
you
I'll
so
go-
much.
I'll go for a small Brian, half a sugar, 2 milks, if you don't mind. Can you remember
Well,
that?
Start talking about Battle Angel because I'm gonna get there.
Did you just really ask for half a sugar?
Yeah, just a little. You
Come
know,
on,
a
dude.
little, a little
Either
this.
get one full sugar or nothing.
All right. You know
What's
what?
a half a sugar?
Brian, I'm getting peer pressure from life coach over here, so no sugar.
And what was the other thing? You got cream in there or milk?
Two milks.
2 milks?
2 milks.
Mm.
Is that okay with you?
Sugar from the cream.
No,
Are you
I'm
sure?
okay. I'm okay with the milk. I'm okay with the milk.
When are we gonna start talking about this? Because
When you
As soon
get
as
here,
as soon as you get in here, just drive.
yeah, but I don't know what time I'll get there. It's like
Then
6
you just
now.
work on getting here. That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
Don't
we'll
worry.
talk about other stuff.
You'll get here in half an hour.
Can fly. At least, listen, they don't invent flying cars yet. I know it's 2019. What's that movie called? Blade Runner. But we don't got flying cars yet, so I can't get over this damn traffic. So I
Alright.
just talking about this.
Blame Trudeau for that. All right, bud. So we'll see you in about half an hour.
We can't talk about Canadian politics on an American.
I'm sorry.
All right. It was nice. Talk to you later, Brian.
Oh, where are you
Drive
going?
safe.
Oh Lord.
All right, buddy. Thank you. See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye, Brian.
Why don't I just talk? Why don't I just join the conversation while you guys are talking about it?
I think it'd be bad radio for the viewers, the listeners. Sorry.
Oh, come on, man. What, all the 5 listeners that you guys have?
Wow.
Oh.
I'll have you know there's plenty of people that have us live on their computers and just get up and walk away or something, you know? Go to the bathrooms, just fucking turned on in the background.
That's okay.
Most people don't care.
But I'm not going to get there on time. I'm like right now I just got past James.
You know you're already late. We
Yeah.
know you're not getting
It's
here on
fine.
time.
Yeah,
It's
just
all right.
take your time, get
Drive
here.
safe. Drive safe. is the
Drive
most
safely.
important.
Hey, you want to watch Battle Angel after this? You should go watch Battle Angel. Yas, have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't.
Can we watch it after?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll talk.
Yes.
I'll talk to Pfizer.
Yes.
I'll convince her. I'm gonna go watch it after the podcast.
You're playing a
Stop
very
work
dangerous
after?
game.
Can we go?
Yeah.
Are you working after? Or are you? good to
Me?
go? No, I'm asking Glenn because Glenn hasn't seen it.
Yeah, he's
He's working, buddy.
You haven't seen it? Fucking call it sick, dude.
Say that over the thing, and there's people listening.
Oh, I mean, what I meant to say was, Don't call him sick. Unless
Clearly a joke.
but you look like you're coming down with something. And you know what?
On
Yeah,
any other, but it's huge because it's summer, so there's a huge summer setup.
first of
today,
all, it's
so-
not summer. It's
Yeah.
the dead
Well,
of fucking
in
winter
retail,
right now.
we're already in the middle of
And
summer. so
secondly, that work will be there. Don't worry, it's
No,
waiting for
it's
you.
alright.
Don't worry.
it's
You know what I'm saying?
alright. Do you want to?
Listen, all I'm saying is that you look a little sick. You look a little sick, and you shouldn't go and spread your germs to
Yeah.
other people.
You're just
You
gonna
know
make
what I'm
it
saying?
worse, and
Yeah.
you're gonna put yourself, you're gonna be sick for like a week at work. You can't be doing that to your coworkers.
In fact,
Yeah.
I think what you should do is call him sick because you look terrible, and you shouldn't spread that shit to other people. And then don't even bother your wife and the kids. You don't want to get the shit on them either. You should isolate yourself. Go watch a movie that no one is watching right now because it's a piece of shit. It's
Yeah.
Alita Battle Angel.
I heard no one's watching
Those
that.
theaters are empty.
I heard it's the last weekend it's playing. It's so bad.
Yeah.
They're pulling it
Right
It's
to
terrible.
right to DVD.
Yeah.
DVD, not even Blu-ray.
Straight
right to DVD.
straight to Crackle.
Yeah.
Is that how I just-
It jumped over Netflix.
yeah. So
Uh,
speaking of Netflix, have you guys watched?
Are really
Umbrella
doing this with
Academy?
it? Should I hang up on him?
Yeah, he's not listening.
Hey, Brian, we're going to go because we want to
Brian,
talk
you-
about this
are you-
show called Umbrella Academy.
Is he even on there?
Seen it.
Is he
Yeah.
around there?
On that for sure.
Are you there?
Brian?
I think it's cutting out, man. If you can hear me, and I think you can, just
Just stay
make
on
your
there.
way
No.
down. All right?
Hey,
I'm losing the
I'm
sick.
on the Umbrella
uh,
Academy.
It's awesome to cut it.
All right, there we go. And that, my friends, is how you get rid of someone in a comical manner, in a sitcom manner.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Have you all watched Umbrella Academy?
No, I have not.
I have
It's
not
good.
seen it.
I've heard, and I'm not
it's
surprised.
good. And I haven't read as we were discussing. That's what took us into the comic talk.
Yeah, I wanted you
Um,
to summarize the show and tell me if it's
yeah,
worth watching.
Yeah, I believe it's worth watching. It was. I found it really good, and that is also, like I said, I didn't read the comic, so I kind of just went in like, okay, I'll check this out, and it draws you in. It's really interesting on what's going on.
Awesome.
Sorry, before I forget, have you guys seen Doom Patrol?
No.
No, not yet.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
but I'm
dude, it's
dying to see it.
So good. It's
Yeah?
so good. And that first episode, I was watching it, and I was like, am I watching a fucking movie? It's so good. It's so well done, and the
Mhm.
effects are awesome. And I love the way that it's played up, but still in that same universe where it's like still serious, but they're just so the characters themselves are so ridiculous. And the whole first episode is devoted to the robot guy. I forgot his
Mr.
name.
Robot.
Is that his name, Mr. Robot?
Yeah, I think so.
No, Robot Man.
Robot
Man?
Man?
Yeah.
And like, who's the driver? Does his name
I
know?
don't remember. Is it who? What's it? No, I don't remember.
Fraser.
Anyways, it's just about him being built and him coming online in his consciousness, and like it all stems from an accident and the way he
The race
remembers
car.
it.
He's a race car, right?
Yeah, he was a race car driver, and then he got into an accident, and they
had,
were
had some problems with his marriage.
yeah, but it's all fragmented memories,
Got
and
it.
throughout the episode, the thing is, I think you should watch it. 'Cause I don't want to spoil anything, right? Because like you see him they build towards something. It's so well written too. It's like a really good show. That and Titans blew me away. It's awesome. I want more shows like this.
Yeah, I mean, things are looking bright. I don't know about the service itself, if it's how good it's doing.
It's struggling, but
It's
that's
struggling?
because they're only allowing U.S. people to
Yeah.
go in, right?
Yeah,
And they're like building these shows on the go, as in
Mhm.
like they're not. Had they launched with like about 3 series, then maybe it would have been that much more,
Mhm.
higher rating, higher viewership. But if it's as good as Titans, and I was full on, bored with that show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
yeah, it's awesome. I love Doom Patrol. New one comes out today. I can't wait. Number 3, episode 3 today.
Mhm.
Right.
I can't wait to download it later and watch it.
It focuses on the guy with the bandages. I
Negative
forget.
Man.
Negative Man.
Is that him?
I think so.
Yeah. So that guy's got a weird power too. Like all I know about it so far is that there's some kind of like a spirit inside of him, and like when the spirit comes out, he just goes unconscious,
Mm.
right? And he has no control over the spirit. It's weird powers. And then that other lady that turns into ooze.
Mhm.
It's like she can only turn into ooze. She can't like control it. She's just like a big slug.
Did they have that episode yet with her? They cover
Uh,
her.
So
I heard it was really good. Or
I don't know. I don't remember if it was the first one or the second episode.
Mhm.
But when they introduce each character, they have a little like, oh, this is how this person got their powers, kind of like montage
Got
kind
it.
of thing. And it's like just it takes up. She was like an actress on a set, and she was like a huge bitch to
Right,
people.
right.
And on the set, she fell through some like planks of wood into the lake. She hit her head, and some ooze came out of a rock into her mouth, and then she got that power. And she like came out of the water, and then she started like she couldn't control it, so she was like starting to ooze, and she looked like weird. So she just like went and hid, right, because she can't control it. Like she has to be isolated for her to look normal.
So an actress has had to ban her vanity so high and blah blah blah.
yeah,
Look down
yeah,
on people.
basically, yeah,
It's taken away. Cool.
yeah. I like the characters. They're all kind of weird.
I'm happy that they changed the not professor the professor.
I guess you could call him the
you could
professor.
call
What
him
is he? What
professor.
is it? I don't know what his name is.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
They
but
call him the chief.
the
That's
chief.
it, yeah.
But
Yeah.
funny that they actually changed the actor, which I thought the weakest part of that group in that episode was the doctor.
You like the new guy? He's kind of semi-famous, right? Because I've seen him in other.
Yeah, he's
roles.
the James Bond, right? He was,
Yeah, you're
He
right.
was,
Yeah.
He's an older James Bond.
Timothy
I like him.
Dalton.
Dalton.
Yeah, I like him. And it wasn't that jarring from like when you saw him in Titans.
Yeah.
Because you see him in one of the episodes, right?
Yeah.
You see how he gets into the wheelchair.
Yeah.
in Titans.
And I like that actor too.
Mhm.
But the transition, like, it didn't feel weird or awkward, you know. And this guy is I liked him as an actor. I like that whole dynamic of them living. There's a bunch of weirdos living together
In a
and then
mansion?
yeah, and like he comes out, and it's so surreal. Like he just comes out and he's like, "I'm leaving for a few days." You're in charge. It's like he's talking to children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Don't leave the premises." Of course, they fucking leave, and and things just like go, but like nuts. And he's like, "This is like why we have to be isolated because of what happens." You guys should watch it. It's really good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
I just haven't downloaded it yet.
And I haven't had the avenue that I usually watch shows. It hasn't uploaded any of that stuff. I'll double check.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you caught up with Gotham? Do you watch Gotham?
I hate it, but I like it. Did you watch yesterday's episode?
Yeah.
Like, god damn it!
Oh wait, maybe I haven't.
Where they introduced 3 villains, like in one shot. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this show?
Yeah, maybe I didn't see yesterday's.
Okay.
I don't think I did.
Okay, you seen last week's with Ace Chemicals?
Yeah, where he falls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, again, I know this is a total Elseworlds. I can't look at this at meaning anything, so just enjoy the crazy ride. But I'm like, so watching, I'm like, so technically the Joker will have issues with Bruce Wayne. Why would he give 2 shits about Batman? But I mean, obviously, whatever's going to happen in this world will happen. But I thought it was pretty, I like how sadistic Jeremiah was, like, with like that whole entire thing. Did you guys all see Gotham with Ace Chemicals?
No, but I know. the
What
episode.
he, rebuilt his parents, and he wanted to be a part of the most traumatic day of Bruce's life, and just that whole entire, like even that little Zorro, or he redid the Mask of Zorro thing was, it was kind of cool. I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
kind of like this really cool sadistic take on, hey, I really want to punish Bruce, right? Like, I thought that was a pretty good. As crazy as much as I hated the show, I'm like, all right, I'm down with it because it's the last season. So I'm like, okay, I'll go with the ride. And I'm like, okay, this, I'm like,
Yeah.
I just like the villain use is really incredible. But yeah, so you didn't see this Thursday's in? Okay,
No, but I just want to bring up
Man,
something.
It's
The
crazy what they did this Thursday.
1989 Batman, the Tim Burton one, where they alter his origin to make it so that Joker was the guy that kills.
Jack Napier.
Yeah, Jack Napier is the
Yeah.
guy that kills instead of Joe Chill.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
I like the idea of this, like Joker being crazy in the TV show,
Mhm.
that he wants to be a part of the origin story, his origin story,
Mhm.
and him kind of retconning that is like that nod to the Tim Burton movie kind
Yeah,
of
a little
right?
bit, like even just the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it's kind of
Really
like
tied
that.
together.
Yeah.
It's just the
and
only
even it's funny because he wears that little mustache, and I always wonder if that was kind of if they're trying to give a little nod to Cesar Romero. Like they
Yeah.
didn't cover it, and I know he's trying to be Zorro, but I was like, I wonder if in a little bit someone thought, hey, we'll make him try to little homage to Cesar Romero. You know, where he was.
Yeah, I think that's totally legit. I think
Yeah,
that's a good
just thought that was
observation.
kinda funny.
I think they'd like thinking about it on different
Yeah,
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It like that show. I feel like as I'm watching that show, it feels like I'm watching the storyline to a game, a Batman game,
Mm-hmm.
because like it's weird. It's like they're all these like the city's cut up into different parts, and each villain controls a different part. And we haven't even been introduced to Mr. Freeze and his section, because I remember at the beginning of the season he's like, "Oh, this part Freeze has this part." You never see him,
No.
so that's a whole other like thing that they should bring in. That they, I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah,
I like the show.
Yeah, it's again mine. I had lots of issues with the show. Like I said, this season I'm able to kind of forgo it. Like I said, I think the lighting, their lighting aspect of, I hated the lighting for some reason. As crazy as that sounds, I just for the first few seasons I could not stand the lighting in the show. I don't know, like it just bugged me the way they lit it. And now that a lot of it is outdoors, like actual being outdoors and stuff, so it's natural light.
It doesn't make it any better though, because
No, but
I think
it's
they're trying to
still
portray
different.
Gotham as gloomy. It's just like dead looking.
But
It's like a constant funeral.
But I think they've done something different with the way they're lighting this season.
Yeah.
That made me enjoy it. Like I don't have that. Oh God, I just, you know what I mean. I'm actually liking some the different ways they've done it and stuff. That's all. Dead air's never good.
Hooray!
yeah.
Hey, did you guys watch the Oscars?
Majority of it.
I didn't watch one single minute of the Oscars.
Yeah.
I watched True Detective, the season finale, which was amazing.
The whole
True
season is
Detec-
out?
Yeah.
Yeah, the season finale was last Sunday.
What
What?
a phenomenal.
Don't say anything.
That
Don't
shit
say
was
anything.
great. I have so many questions, which
No
I can't
spoilers.
answer now, can
No
I?
spoilers.
Isn't it only like 6 episodes? You can't watch that, or 8? I think it's 8 episodes.
It's 8 episodes.
You haven't watched it?
I was waiting for them all to come out.
They're all out.
So now that they're all out,
They're
I'll
all
watch them
out.
all. Yeah.
They're all
and
out.
this is the first True Detective season I've seen. I know it's. I know.
Oh,
Leia, you've
dude.
never seen
It's
the
funny.
first season
I only saw the first episode of the first season.
with Woody and
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go and
Oh,
watch.
man.
And watch it.
Mm.
yeah.
Oh man, imagine going like not ever seeing Breaking Bad and now just like experiencing it for the first time.
So
That's how I feel right now about what you're gonna see. True Detective 1 is so good.
I think I've only seen 2 episodes of Breaking Bad.
What?
What?
Yeah.
And you like?
that's on you because that show is so good.
No, he's saying that is
I-
not enticing enough to keep watching.
I know.
Really?
My
I
point
didn't-
is like
I didn't-
that's
I didn't care. I didn't.
you gotta give it a real try, man. That show is so good, and it
I
picks
seen
up.
the first episode. And I was like, okay.
Don't tell me the last.
And no, some weird episode where he's in I think he's all pissy about a car wash or something like that. He goes to the car wash and he does something. I don't remember. I just don't find it. Yeah, I mean, like,
Dude,
I
once
know it
he
used to
turns
be
that,
on,
once
and
he
I've-
turns that corner and he becomes his specific character, it's
yeah, I just
Yeah,
I
you should give
don't-
it a
I
you should
don't-
give it a
I've
try.
tried, like I've watched a little bits, and I just I honestly just don't care for the show.
It's one of the very few shows that made me feel like uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like
definitely a lot
there are
of
moments like where you're like the pit of your stomach. You feel like, wow.
I think
This
it's
is
the
really
first
well-made
episode
show.
didn't pull me in, and
Yeah.
I just didn't care. Like I'm like, all right, I don't care. And then I never really. My wife loved it. She watched She kept telling me it's good. You got to watch it. And I was like, all right, I'll try. And then, like I said, I think I watched the first. I think I tried the second, and I didn't care much. And then, yeah, a couple of seasons in, I think.
so the whole tub
she
scene
was-
thing didn't like interest like catch your interest.
That's
no,
on the first
no,
2
I
That's the
episodes?
second episode. I
Holy
think.
shit.
No,
or
I don't.
third.
I don't think I got to that point. What
So
is
there's
that?
like
Holy
there's like a
shit.
body in a tub. No, it doesn't. Or
No, I don't remember that. I think
Okay.
I probably walked away.
In a house? No. Okay.
Yeah.
No, and then, yeah, and then, like, yeah, and then it was something, yeah, some other season. Like I know he was in a car wash, and I was like, meh. I sat with her, and I was like, I'm gonna go and do something else. I don't care. Nah, I just didn't have any kind of. I just didn't. Yeah, like I said, I watched that first episode, and I'm like, okay, just didn't. Yeah, I just. That's all it is.
Okay.
It didn't bring me in. I wasn't like, oh, I want to see what happens, kind of deal. That's all.
It's like everybody's saying about what's that? Man, what's that TV show that deals with like drugs and in Boston or Chicago? In The Wire or something. I only saw one episode. I gotta give.
Is that where they
Give that
mostly
show-
takes place in like that
Rural-
that apartment row kind of thing?
Yeah, you've
And they're-
seen it, right?
I
The
think,
Wire.
I think I've seen
You can't
that.
speak about it. Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
That's the guy who
I
played
heard
the
it's really
Punisher
good. I
heard it's
Jigsaw.
really
The
good.
guy who plays
Oh, okay.
Jigsaw in the Punisher. He was in this show, right?
I don't know.
What?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I only see one.
He was like one
one
of the
episode.
detectives. Oh, okay.
And Jigsaw, I just know the actor, but I don't recognize.
I think he was Jigsaw from the cool Punisher movie, Warzone,
Oh, yes, then maybe yes.
and then he's in
Okay,
The
okay.
Wire. I think
Okay.
I've
Yep.
seen that where they're
Okay.
doing it. That was a pretty. Yeah, The Wire is pretty good. I watched that. The Sopranos were really good. But then I watched The Sopranos thinking that was Mike's family. So
I've never seen The Sopranos.
Really?
One episode.
What? Oh
yo,
my
you gotta
God.
watch The Sopranos and then think of Mike Solano and his family, and be like, yo, this is Mike's family. I swear to God, AJ and Meadow just
Yeah.
absolutely remind me of Mike and Vicky.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it just, the way they are seems the way. And then the interactions I've always had with Mike's dad seems like Tony Soprano. Like, not to the extent, like, not when you look at his
Yeah.
mob dealings, but his family,
Yeah.
you know, just kind of like, hey, you know, how, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
Mike's dad's Italian, so not to
Yeah.
stereotype, but, you know, the one day when Mike's dad's like, oh, I was at Mike's house, and his dad's like, oh, hey, I think his cousin's, or I guess it's his dad's brother or whatever it is, Giuseppe. You know Giuseppe?
No, but okay.
So he's like, oh, you know, me and Giuseppe, we're gonna start a landscaping business. Just randomly, like, we're gonna go build some decks, and me and Mike are like, what? Like, he's like, oh, and Mike's like, I didn't know you guys are building decks. And I was like, you know what I mean? It was just, and they just left. It was just so funny, and then, you know, being at Mike's house for dinners, like the big Sunday dinners with the,
Yep.
you know, it just, and I'm not trying to be any kind of it was just like, you know, knowing Mike's family, and then watching Sopranos, I always felt that was Mike's.
Awesome.
It was always, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
play in your head, you're like, hey, it's like, this is, if Mike's family were into the mob, this is what they would be.
More
kinda.
relatable.
Yeah,
Wow.
No, I'm not trying to be mean in any way. More like kind of just that's how it was. It's, I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being like enjoyable. You know what I mean? It was just funny. But anyways, that's my story. Going back to Sopranos, which I think at its like 20th, like its 20th anniversary, I think. Like this
When
the
it started,
few-
you mean?
Yeah, when it first aired, yeah, which is like crazy. But yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, it's weird that, like, I don't know, because it was a part of, like, it was just there. I watched everything, but you've never seen a single episode.
Oh,
To
so
me, it's
you,
weird.
so you never seen Sopranos?
I did see
Okay.
the
And it's a
last,
slow,
the diner,
like,
the diner
it's-
scene I saw. But
Like, I can't even tell you to, like, go and watch it all. Like, it's a slow burn.
It's too
Yeah.
much. Too much of an
There's a
investment.
lot.
I mean, the only thing
The only
technically
one-
is you can almost jump in at any point and just kind of start watching
Yeah,
and,
maybe true.
and get the idea of
Of the
what's
relationships.
going on.
Like,
yeah.
some characters might be dead from previous.
But they'll bring it
episodes,
up
but
and they'll say how, you know. Jackie Jr.
The only show that I'll go, like, take a bullet for per se, and highly recommend to anybody that I
Mhm.
see is Lost. I feel
I
like
haven't seen Lost.
whoever.
either. What? I haven't. I just
Oh my God, you're missing out.
that I haven't seen one episode.
Oh,
of.
that show is so good. That's like 3 a.m. on Netflix kind of show. that
Is
you
it
just
on
keep
Netflix?
watching. You keep watching. No, it's probably not anymore.
Oh, okay.
It was at one point. It's just like nonstop. I want to see the next episode. I want to see the next episode.
Oh,
Boom, 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 boom.
okay.
And so you watched it at the time where, like, it was long gone and done, right?
No,
and you had
I
access
saw
to
it-
all of them?
I saw it when it was season 5 was about to begin.
Yeah.
So I heard about it. So
And
I
then you went back?
and like I freaking
Yeah.
caught up.
Seasons?
And I caught up for season 5. It's like a
Oh,
month away or
Jesus.
something from it.
Because, you know what? More than that show, it was a great show, and I really loved all the characters.
the best.
But the thing about that show is that what was the biggest part of that show was the conversation week by week,
yes. It's one of
based
those-
on the mysteries and that kind of stuff. And I really feel like, oh man, I don't want to see too much. I don't want to spoil it because I really think it's worth watching.
Oh, it's.
I never feel like you don't get a full satisfactory answer all the way at the end. I think.
Oh,
personally.
oh man.
And then- but the thing
got
is-
I think the ending is
For me,
so good.
for me, I think the ending is like something that people knew or guessed from a long time that they were saying was not true, was not true, was
Right.
not true, and
Right.
then at the end it was like, oh yeah, it was true, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, and I think that took part of the magic
you
away
don't
for
want to
me.
spoil anything from a show that's been off the air.
For you might watch
no,
it.
Spoil it.
And
By all
no,
means.
no, no,
I'm
no,
not gonna
no,
spoil anything.
because I
This
told
is
you
one
I
of
would
those
take
shows.
a bullet for that show. Like,
Really?
This is
that
a
show
really good
so
show.
All right.
Good.
But let me say one thing. So, I was a little disappointed in that ending. But then what I did was I took a step back and I was like, the show itself with the stories and what you got out of it.
One
It's
episode's not gonna-
amazing.
one
No, no,
episode.
no,
They,
yeah.
If you like it or not, it's not going to tarnish what it was, the experience. You know what I mean of that show.
I got
Yeah,
you.
and
there
what
was
that
so many moments where you're like jaw dropping. You know what I mean? Like episodes that made you kind of, made me even teary.
yeah.
Mm.
Like there's lots of episodes, that you could go back and talk about and discuss. And they like halfway through that show, it's like they introduce elements that you weren't expecting, and it's like, oh my god,
Oh, okay.
the possibilities of this show now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Cool.
one of those shows where they like it's not constant, like what do you call it? It's not like
Like a constant plot line, if that
yeah.
makes sense?
It's
Okay.
like back and forth, looking sort of like True Detective. Here,
Oh, okay.
you enjoyed the hell out of True
Yeah.
Detective, right? The
Yeah.
new season, just without getting too spoilery, it's like the moment the actual case is happening,
Yes.
a middle portion after some time has passed,
Yeah.
and then like the present time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's 3 timelines you're
Yes.
constantly going through.
That
and
kind
it's
of
so
kind
done
of like
so
Lost
well.
then?
So
So-
Lost,
Okay.
in some respects, I can say that much.
Yeah.
does pull some of that stuff, and it's
Oh, okay.
ridiculously mind blowing. Like,
Oh, okay.
like when you're watching something and you think in your brain it's this the timeline or this or that, and it's not. And it's just like
Oh, okay. Cool.
It was the first time I ever heard the phrase flash forwards. You know what I'm saying? I never heard that before Lost.
yeah,
Mhm.
It's such a good show. It's just such a good show.
yeah. And show and characters, like actors.
Well, I know-
Characters
I
you-
think I know-
characters you invest in. Like,
Yeah, I think
they're
I've
so
seen
good.
like there's an old guy, there's an overweight dude. Those are like the two popular ones, right?
I like what's his name, Desmond.
Yep.
Love
I
Desmond.
don't know. I just remember. I think probably from jokes like Saturday Night Live making.
Brother.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay,
Anyways,
cool. Have I been able to avoid the Oscar talk?
That's not what
Have I deferred enough that?
I think it went as planned without getting so deep.
Yeah, it
into
did.
Sorry, one more question. Has Chris seen Lost?
Couldn't
she
tell
seen
you.
it?
No clue.
Find out
She
if
would
she's
love
seen
it.
it and
Okay.
see if you guys should watch it together.
We have no time to do any of that.
Put the kids to sleep. Find the time.
There's
It's
no
worth
time.
it for Lost. It's
No.
worth it for Lost.
No, because I can watch it way quicker than she can.
Yeah, but it's not about watching it quicker.
Yeah, something you can
Watch it with her.
Something you can marinate,
And then,
and then like 10 years from now, when you finish it,
yeah, no, I
We
mean,
can
look,
chat about
even
it.
if it takes a long time, and the reason, and I think it's a good experiment, is that if you watch it alone, you won't have that
like that, when you
moment
look-
to moment,
Yes.
those looks and the because when I was watching it live, like you'd see an episode, you'd have a whole week to digest it and talk with people and see theories online and all this shit. So if you're watching it with someone else and you turn to each other, you're like, "What do you think that means? What do you think that is? What does that mean? What's going on now? Who's that guy? What's that thing from his past?"
That
Yeah.
won't happen.
And, when,
It
and,
might,
and
it
nothing beats watching something with someone and you just kind of look back and you're like, oh, you get the reaction off
Yeah,
that
right
person.
away.
It's not just you. It's good.
Yeah,
That's
just you in
what-
the dark
That's why I have.
with your
That's-
vlogs.
That's why I have the Potbelly Gamer staff chat. Or Brian Austin, because I
If-
finished Umbrella
if anybody-
Academy and I called Brian.
If anybody's out there in the chat, just chime in. What do you think? How good was Lost? Were you interested? You'd like to know.
All right.
Anyways,
So you want to finally give Marvel its due? Took forever, Marvel. Or no?
For what?
It's finally winning an Oscar.
Oh, like for costume or something?
I
Or
think
did it win?
Yeah,
when
we
it
are-
won
Sui-
was fine.
Suicide Squad already had it, so sure, if you want to ride the coattails of DC and win the same awards we've already won, by all means. Now, I will give it to Spider-Verse winning Best Animated.
Oh,
That's
deserved
well
it.
deserved.
Deserved it. So come on.
And here's my question.
Black Panther deserved the categories it won, with the exception if Aquaman had been in visual effects.
Yeah, I think the whole thing, because Aquaman's not nominated for visual effects.
But is it like
disgusting?
Gonna be in the next Oscars because
No,
it came out at the end of the year or something?
It came. This was the year it had to be in. Just like First Man that came out in December. That they won an Oscar,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
weird.
crazy. How
I think something
First
happened there.
Man wins for visual and Avengers doesn't.
Yeah,
Very weird.
it is.
Yeah.
it is.
But Avengers is a cartoon, so that's probably it.
Made $1 billion cartoon. How much money did First Man make?
Seriously, that movie's strong.
$1 trillion.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, congratulations, Marvel.
Hooray!
You finally did
Ken-
it. You finally
did Feige
did it.
get up on stage? Was it Feige that got up?
No, it was like
Pushing people down?
The actual
Get-
person the lady who actually did do the costumes come up because it's like not part. It's like the other. When you go through the credits and you see it's like those people, right? Like,
Yeah.
has nothing technically to do with Fergie. It's actually the whatever the
Feige.
company is that did the costumes gets that award, right? Or that studio house. So like editing, it's that studio house.
I don't know. I forget the woman's name, but I found her
The
really
costume?
the costume lady.
Yeah. No,
I found her like her speech and just the way she came up, like very like approachable, nice, like good for her kind of thing.
Good.
Yeah.
I say good for her too. Yeah. But it's like I said, it's kind of funny because people made fun of the Suicide Squad for winning an Oscar for costumes,
Right.
but
right.
we applaud Black Panther
Yeah.
winning an Oscar
That I
for
get, I
costumes.
get
That's
it.
what I find hilarious.
I get that.
Stupid Marvel. Give me a break.
Well, you think of it this way: Suicide Squad was a pioneer that made, like, before it was like, oh, that's so weird, but now because of Suicide Squad, now we'll get more comic book movies coming out.
And
What do you think of
winning
that?
and winning
It's
costumes.
a pioneer. You know,
I mean, Dark Knight already.
no one
gave it to
appreciated
Heath
it
Ledger.
until
We
way
are-
after its time.
DC's already won the major awards, so it's fine. You want to roll around
Yeah,
and,
it's so true.
and
though.
enjoy your little.
Nothing's
cool.
ever happened until Marvel, right? Like
Yeah,
the
no,
fir-
apparently.
the first,
No one else ever won.
female-
Like no superhero won these awards
It's
until Marvel all of a sudden came around.
Ridiculous.
There's never been a woman-led
Never.
movie, a hero movie,
No.
until Captain Marvel came around.
Yeah.
Everyone just magically forgot Wonder Woman fucking existed.
Or
Stupid.
Aliens. No one's never.
No, she
no
wasn't a
one's seen
hero.
Aliens.
Aliens didn't come along. She wasn't a hero.
No.
I mean, you look at technically Atomic
Well-
Blonde, not really anything. Like she's
Atomic
running around
Blonde.
that's like a spy, being a hero. Really good movie. No one really thinks about her holding down a movie.
Do you remember when Sigourney Weaver was always saying that she was faster, better, stronger,
Yeah,
smarter?
Yeah. Nah, she
That-
didn't need to say it because she fucking just showed
Just
it on
did.
screen, guy.
Woo!
Well, I don't know. Maybe they mean like, has anybody said? No one at Marvel has said this is like the first
Yeah, that's
woman-led.
yes, they
superhero
have
movie?
been. That's the whole
Even
thing.
if-
Maybe they
That's
mean
the whole
superhero
thing.
like in a costume.
They say this is the very first female-led Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But they need to somehow make it like they're the first ones to do it.
Even
You're
if,
not.
Even if
'cause
Marvel doesn't come
Maybe
out and
it's,
say it.
maybe they're just saying it for their own little
The-
cinematic
they are,
universe.
but everyone's
Everybody,
taking it
the
like
media.
people on Twitter and the media's taking it like it's the first. And it's just ridiculous. Like I mean, I guess they got to do what they got to do, but I'm like, it's just weird that like we've said, like Wonder Woman did it so amazingly. Does that make sense? Like they market it like, hey, come out and like I said, just remember we talked about our Wonder Woman review show. How I sat with my wife and how great she felt watching this, person she grew up idolizing on screen and how great it was. And even I asked Chris like, hey, do you want to go see that? She goes, I don't really care to see that. Like the Captain Marvel movie, right? So I was like, okay, I don't think your game plans work in Marvel.
Oh, here's one thing too that I keep not the best.
Now,
example-
Wonder Woman
not the-
is an iconic character. I guess it is very tough to take an iconic character versus a character pretty much
unknown,
comic
and then
people
also
know. I
they
will, I
picked
will
an
give it
actress
that. I
that's
will
not
give it
very
that.
likable.
She
Like
is.
No, I think she's likable. She's won an Oscar. I'm not saying she's not
but
likable.
not winning an Oscar is nothing to being likable.
Sorry, I'm going on acting cred, I guess. Then, like, do you mean likable as in the public eye, or likable
When
as
you think
in
of
she's
Brie
a good
Larson,
actress?
you don't think of like, oh, she looks charming, or she's great with the
I
media.
look at Brie
or-
Larson. I think she's a good actress. Like if you've seen The Room, she's good.
and that's it.
Like
What
she's
else?
a good.
I'm not saying that Wonder
uh,
Woman actress is a great actress, by the way. I'm just in case anybody's.
Well,
wondering.
that would be.
But-
See, that's the funny thing because if I look at Gail Gadot and I look at her being in the Fast and the Furious, I think that's all she's really been in.
yeah,
You're like, yeah,
in the Smith, whatever.
I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird. And then you look at Brie Larson, you're like, wow, she's in like these really impressive, like quote unquote art house, like art
Yeah.
housey kind of movies, right, where it's like very much dependent on acting. Like it's her in a room with a kid. There is no, hey, it is all. It's like 2 hours of you literally just speaking and making us feel like for you being trapped in that room, right? So
Yeah.
when I take a look at both of it, then you go on and she goes on to one room and it has like I guess iconic moments, but you know, even that whole No Man's Land scene with her is just absolutely incredible. Like just how she's able to carry, you know, just how Gal Gadot's able to carry herself. You know what I mean? And then you put on, you know, the, like I said, the iconic thing of Wonder Woman. It just, you know what I mean? It kind of goes there. And like I said, we've talked about Wonder Woman again, like Themyscira. The beginning of Wonder Woman is amazing with Themyscira, and then just that fight scene is like insane. Doesn't matter if it was men or women. It's just like the flips with. I mean, you got my heart when you're like sitting there with bow and arrows. I love archers. Like archer things are awesome. But yeah, and then you look at this, and like I know it's a little bit different because it is set, well, in the past. But you know what I mean. But like I said, I'll look and I'll ask people's opinions. Some people are like, yeah, I want to see it because it is a Marvel movie, and I want to see how this links Avengers. There are people that see it. I haven't heard many people that in my circles that are like, yeah, I'm gonna go see it. Like I want to see it opening weekend. Like everyone's like, yeah, I want to see it eventually. Like I'll go to the theater see it, but I'm not like lining up like it's something like that. Now we know we'll probably make like 80 million on the weekend and stuff like that, opening weekend. But yeah, just based on some of the people I've talked to, like Wonder Woman. But again, like I said, I guess Wonder Woman's iconic character.
Yeah.
Like
it has way more
girls
history.
grow up with Wonder Woman, so I guess that's why it's different. But it just seems, just when you look at the two different marketing styles, I think it's just interesting.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I'm just saying. But
Maybe that's all, and I think I've gotten discussions with Ernest and stuff online and stuff. It's not that the movie could be good. I have no idea.
it'd be Marvel.
And I'm
cookie
sure
cutter. It'll be funny. There'll be good scenes, moving scenes, and then there'll be, you know, kind of the funny, your funny kind of scenes, and it'll end with a big battle in space.
Yeah,
Or
it will most likely, if I had to bet, it's going to be a good movie. It's just the way that bugs me is the way it's been marketed.
yeah,
And the actress saying stupid, ridiculous things. That's the only thing that's like, ugh.
I
It's
think
put off.
I think it's kind of funny, like and I guess it's clever. You got to give it to them, like doing the better, you know. And there was an interesting. Have you seen the trailer where it shows all of them? Like it shows some heroes are built, some heroes are made. I thought that was kind of like I'm down. I'm like okay, I kind of get that trailer. You show Iron Man, you show Thor, you show Hulk. Like I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But when you're thinking, I'm like, but yeah, it's kind of weird, you know, where it's going. I'm like, okay, I'll see it. But I mean, obviously they're building it up for Captain Marvel to be like really, you know, really this bigger than kind of thing, life kind of character. And I know she does have that power.
I think the problem is like, you know, when they say like faster, stronger, right?
the
I
airplane.
think it's either that or, to me, what I thought it was like the Kree and their gene manipulation of humans, and that's how they got Inhumans. So I thought it was based on that. And then what marketing did was they took it and they spun it to make it like her with an O, hero, make it kind of more like that. But I think there's like a story-driven reason for all the sayings, right?
Again, I do hope that they really do a good, and I think they will. But what's interesting, like I said, I will go see the movie because I want to see it. But I want to see it because I really want to see what the Kree Skull War will look like. I hope that war is done really good.
Yeah,
that's what I'm really hoping for. And I think obviously we're gonna finally realize, or the Skrulls or whatever, that some of the people we know will be Skrulls, and we're going to hopefully in this movie see them integrate. And you've already seen it, obviously, in the trailer with them taking on, like, the lady on the subway and all that stuff. So I think the coolest part, kind of like, remember at the end of Thor, when we realized Loki took over, Loki was controlling Skarsgård. What was the professor's name? You know, the professor guy. We finally see it. That's what I'm really excited about, and I think that's what will really drive the buzz. Is I think probably an end credit scene, we will see that a Skrull has taken over one of the Avengers. So one of the Avengers is a Skrull.
The whole time, like it could be a huge retcon.
And because it's happening in the...
I don't get that at all.
I don't know. I just
but
think that's what
would that make sense to you?
It would make it super overly complicated, but
because
we don't know the timeline.
What we've seen of these characters would indicate that there would be a Skrull. Like they're doing heroic.
Well,
things.
I mean, you could kind of look at the fight. Yeah, it depends. I don't know. Again, that's just.
But that's
what
the
I
thing
think.
about like
I don't know.
Skrulls, because they're like sleeper agents. So the
Yeah.
way that it works is they copy themselves like you would,
Yeah.
The
like down
best-
to the
yeah.
DNA. I think even maybe memories
The
or
best,
something.
the
I'm not
best
sure.
thing I would
But
say
then they
is-
start living that life,
Uh-huh.
and they get so into the role. There's a possibility that like they accept that that's who they are, right?
Oh,
Subconsciously.
The biggest.
That's the only
person-
scenario I could see where they would be like heroic.
So give me a character you might think.
Bruce Banner.
Ah.
That's why I can't change.
I
Or that's
think,
why he's having
and
a hard
also
time
it makes
changing?
it a very fun thing to flip him from Ed Norton to him, right? If you kind of fundamentally have to do that
that's a little
scroll
too
thing.
on
No, I know, but I
Am
think
I on? It feels like I'm not even.
yeah,
oh.
you're
Yeah, we can definitely hear you.
Oh, my bad.
my thought is it's Bruce Banner that it gets how do you say kind of affected by it.
Retconned?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't take.
No,
Skrulls-
not record.
but-
Just like he and like you said, one of his
Like
things.
he was a
And
scroll
that-
the whole time.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
a
that's
Skrull
why
doesn't take
na-
on the powers of them.
They,
of
I
them,
think they
though.
do.
No, they don't. Not in the comics.
No, not the powers, but that would explain why. Because I don't think he. Well, yeah, he's
He's
a
still
thing on the
tall.
ship, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know, but but it's Marvel. They can change anything, and nobody
Oh.
cares, or nobody fights, or nobody gets angry.
No,
about
that's I
how
think
they've
that's one of the
changed.
major points is that they do. It's an exact copy, DNA copy, right?
No, because if I remember in the comics,
Trying
the
to
ones
think.
that were copied were like people like Hawkeye, like people that weren't really.
Yeah, they were more not.
They were more like humans
Yeah, I'm
that
trying
that
to
had
think. Who did
abilities,
the
but they weren't like
Skrulls?
super. Like it wasn't.
Was
like,
it Black Widow that they?
It was Spider Woman or something. Spider. What's the-
Yes.
Scarlet- whatever you call
Jessica, whatever her name, Spider Woman.
Yeah, Spider Woman.
Spider Woman was a Skrull,
I
that's
think
right.
Hawkeye or something. I ever remember. Or Hawkeye was missing. Yeah, Hawkeye was one of the missing characters.
No, Hawkeye.
Who was in the ship? Captain
Hawkeye
America. No.
shot was this before Hawkeye shot the Hulk?
I don't know. Was it Reed Richards? I don't remember, man.
Man, no, but you're right. I do remember Spider Woman in New Avengers. She turned in. She was a Skrull. No, Elektra was the Skrull. Wasn't Elektra a Skrull?
Man.
God damn. Is it?
Oh, one thing I want to go back before I
Spider-Woman or
forgot.
Elektra.
Even before
Yeah,
Wonder
Spider-Woman.
Woman.
I think
Hello,
Spider-
whatever happened to, even though it sucked, Catwoman had her own movie.
Yeah, no.
Okay, no, but that was a female-led movie.
Yeah.
What about the Daredevil? What's her name?
Elektra.
Electra. That was part Marvel. No, I'm not Marvel.
No, you're
Marvel.
right. The Elektra.
But yeah, but it's not the first.
No, it's not the. You're right. Yeah, technically, yeah. For Marvel, you're right. It's not the first because Elektra was the first female-driven Marvel film. I mean, Catwoman was DC. But yeah, there's been strong ones. But like you said, maybe like Yasser's right. It's part of the tag is something that's happening
Within the Air
within
Force,
the movie, and they have to take this.
the whole thing of the two
Yeah.
girls being
Yeah.
like let's show them boys how it's done.
No, it's fine. Like you said,
Yeah.
that stuff I'm down. It's just.
I wanted to
I-
cover
I'm
the
just-
Rotten Tomato thing, but not get too overly heated.
Sure, go
because
for it.
someone's here is going to oppose.
I mean, here's the thing, and we'll get
Okay.
into it. And I've forever spoken in my just distaste for what Rotten Tomatoes is and the absolute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How just because a bunch of people don't like it, it means I'm not going to go see it. Like I still think everyone should go experience something for themselves. Like if I may not like mushrooms, you may like mushrooms, but say Yasser writes a review, hey, mushrooms are bad. So are you not going to try a mushroom because Yasser said they were bad, but you do like? You know what I mean?
or even going deeper, what is considered a fresh and a not? Is
Yeah,
it 3.5?
like-
Is it a 3 out of
Yeah,
5?
and-
And if it's a 3 out of 5, why is that a rotten?
Yeah, I
I've seen
don't
p-
get it.
oh, I've
I've
seen-
never liked that site. I mean, sure you could do it. Like I said, there's the only site I really like,
Yeah.
and I think I don't know if I got it right. Crazy enough, that's the Metacritic, right?
Metacritic.
Where they actually
Get scored.
have somebody and they talk to you as you're walking out of the theater.
Oh,
and
no,
I
you're
think
talking-
that, or is that
you're talking about Cinema Score.
Cinema Score? And
Cinema
that you get an
Score.
A plus, an A.
A minus.
So
yep.
sorry, that's the one. That's the one I will look at it because you're getting people who have just seen a movie, and I believe they interview people or they take a little survey as you've
As
walked
you
out,
walked out.
and then they put it online. And if you look at all of those scores are absolutely totally different than
Generally
anything
higher.
else. Than anything
Yeah,
else. So yeah, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, but yeah, please.
Well, but basically, what the story what came out, and this was even being followed in track before what happened on Wednesday or something. So
Mhm.
we all know that there's for every movie that gets put on Rotten Tomatoes before it gets released, there's a little button that will allow you to say, "Hey, I'm looking forward to this movie," or "I'm not really interested."
Hype
in this
feature
movie.
kind of,
Like
right?
a little, just to gauge the audience
Interest. Yeah.
hype.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And so it turns out that because of all this stuff that was happening with Brie Larson and the bad media press and all this stuff, which in fact I'll say that it was, even though she's not a racist person, I saw it as a sexist, racist remark. But anyway, so people showing their disinterest, that meter kept reducing to the point where it reached 27%. And then magically at its low point, the next day it was taken down. So basically, and then Rotten Tomatoes came out and issued a little letter saying, hey, going forward, we thought about this, we've been thinking about this, and people are getting this confused as an actual score. So we're going to pull it down. We're going to pull down the comics, the forum section for movies that don't get released until they get released. Which is okay, fine. You're entitled to do that. It's your website. But I just found it really fishy that 2 months before this huge movie, because it is a huge movie. No matter if I'm that excited about it, it's a huge movie that has potential to make $1 billion. And you can't say that about most movies coming out today. Yeah. Most movies make 500, 400, 300, right? Your typical movie. So looking at different videos, I found it funny because I went back and they removed the "I'm not interested" button, but you can still click on "I'm interested." So what kind of?
That's kind of.
So what kind of?
You were talking about Rotten Tomatoes site.
They got rid of that button, so they only kept that. So you could only look forward to it. Don't you find that really weird?
Because I know on YouTube they got rid of the dislike button.
Why?
Yeah, because I think
so then don't have a like button.
Their own YouTube Rewind 2018 was the most
it's garbage though. Did you watch that thing?
But it holds a record for most disliked.
That's fine because that thing was garbage.
So I don't know if that had any effect on it, but that's just one of the. I think they're like across the board. You know, like
if you're going to do that to what you just said, then you get rid of like and you get rid of dislike.
Right, and just
you get rid of both. You don't just get rid of something to suit the needs. So you know what I mean. So
the narrative,
look, everyone can just hit like. Yeah. Oh, there you go. So what is that then?
But also, so like,
stupid.
Why did this movie trigger this response?
Well,
like,
I think
why
movies past have triggered. Sorry.
Why couldn't they have waited? If it's not, people are saying, "Oh, it's considered." You're just making people are going overboard over this, but. Why didn't they wait for the movie to come out and then eventually phase it out?
Or because Disney has a lot of money?
Or my thing, too, is like if they're saying they've been planning this for about a year, right? Why wouldn't you put out this letter and say, in about 2 months, we're going to make changes to the website because of A, B, C, D, and then slowly roll it out. It doesn't make sense to just pull it out and then put an excuse to it, right? Yeah. And the thing, something that I was looking on YouTube videos is I found it funny that the person that's in charge of Fandango, which owns Rotten Tomatoes, is the used to work for Disney for their marketing and for their online stuff. And
so
now
there's connection.
So so it's right there.
One little
people
phone
are saying,
call.
Disney. People are. It's not like Disney's like throwing money at them. No, all it takes is like a big high up that owns half the industry saying, "Hey, you know
Call
what?
them up.
This thing here is kind of hurting us. Can you take it down?" You don't think there's a relationship between a guy that used to work there at a big executive position and now is in charge of this website? Come on.
No, quite honestly, come on. There was a call made. And again, it has kind of been a lot of, it's weirdly enough, it is those different things. It seems to be a lot of Disney. You go back, obviously, Last Jedi had hate. This had hate. But again, if you've done something okay, I didn't hear any hate for the Avengers movie, right?
Exactly.
So, but again, if you're going to do something, like I said, I think Rotten Tomatoes is a joke as it is. Yeah. Like it's
now
you're asking
even more now.
All you've done is put it out there to allow us to do that stuff. So, what is your deal? What are you looking for? Like I don't know. I just that whole entire site is just a joke to me. Like everyone runs it, and the whole thing is just an effing joke. So,
Brian's
they
here.
should just let it do what it does. Like if people are just going to look at that and base everything they do on other persons, the whole entire thing the world talks about is like, do something for yourself. But you have a whole entire site dedicated to people needing a verification from something to go see something. Like, why don't you experience? Like, imagine the whole world was, I'm just going to listen to what everybody else says.
Well, it has so much pull.
Experience something for yourself.
Right, but it has so much pull that now it's like stickers that get on movies that get put on movies.
Pathetic. Pathetic that they can actually. Somebody's like, I want to put that sticker on there. And one of my other biggest things is this Solo. Like, I belong to a lot of Star Wars fan groups. I went to see Solo. I loved it.
I
thought Solo's
I enjoyed it.
even to still that Solo's now dropped on Netflix. People are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this movie was so good. I wish I seen it in the theater. But and like I said, I can go to like there's a lot of little Star Wars chats, and they're I mean I don't even bother responding. I'm like I've been responding. Like, experience something for yourself. Why are you sitting there and allowing somebody to tell you what or what not to do? You're literally letting somebody say, "Oh, I didn't like it," so that means you don't like it. You know what? I didn't like the movie, guys. So all three of you, you shouldn't like it either.
Okay.
Even us
Can I
sitting here.
can I
four-
interject?
You will.
Hey,
you will.
you will.
Just a sec. There's only 4 of us in here, but it seems like a lot of the times, like 2 out of the 4 are
Yeah.
gonna have a total different view
opinion, and that's
of a movie.
amazing. That's what's great.
what's
We
awesome.
have different
And
opinions,
it's
and
a
we can
small
enjoy it.
sample.
But we will all go at least and see something and be able to form our own opinion of it, not sit back and let somebody have a different opinion for us about it. That's all I'm saying. Like, sure, throw something out there to say, hey, you know what? I did go see it. I didn't like it, and that's Cinema Blend, right? That's why I like that
CinemaScore.
site. And when you actually end up looking at that site, you have movies that we've enjoyed. Hey, you know what? Walking out of Justice League, actually, people kind of didn't mind it. The cinema score for that was like A, not an A plus. It was still A. Or you look at Solo. Hey, I really liked Solo. That got an A plus on. You know what I mean? You have take something where somebody has, like you said, seen it, walked out, and I don't mind that because I know they used to give awards. I think MTV used to give awards for the most anticipated movie. You know what I mean? Coming out, sure, you can throw something. Or am I anticipated to see it? Sure, but like you said, if they've taken down the dislike but left up the like are people that stupid that they don't see what they're doing? Oh, let's just make sure we pad it for everything else.
Yeah,
right?
in perspective, like I keep
what it
saying,
is.
this is just a movie website. It's not the biggest. It's not a big deal, really. If you think about
in
it.
all
with
sense,
everything
no,
that's happening in the world,
But I think there's a lot of people that, and they're crazy enough. There's a podcast I listen to. Yasser listens to too. Comic Conspiracy. I believe his name is Brock. He will only see a movie based on what the Rotten Tomatoes score is, and I think they've kind of said stuff to him as well about, you know what I mean? I'm like,
There's probably a lot of people like that.
but like, yeah, and it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. I just like, for me, it's just crazy. There's like, there's shit.
But
I've
the
seen.
thing is, okay, so if
Yep.
these people just say they only utilize Rotten Tomatoes to decide whether or not to go see a movie, regardless of how we feel about it, I think the main problem here is that is no longer unfiltered. I'd rather it be completely unfiltered than someone artificially making it the way they want it to go, like by taking out dislikes.
Take
You know
both
what I'm
out.
saying?
Take both buttons
Yeah.
out.
No,
That's it.
I think that they should be both there.
Oh, you want both in? Okay.
Yeah,
or
I
then,
want, like-
fine, both out or both in.
Yeah.
Is that
But-
fair?
but-
both out or both.
But the funny part that I keep coming back to, it wasn't like because I was one of the people that said not interested. And
Yeah.
I think I wrote it doesn't just looks man,
For
no
which
big
one?
deal. And I went through the forum
Which
for
movie?
for Captain Marvel. I went through the forum
I
before it got
thought
taken down, and I actually did the trouble of reading the things. And I'll tell you, out of like maybe about 15 that I read, maybe one of them was a troll saying like this is pure patheticness. Everybody else was just saying it doesn't look interesting. You know, the trailer, what I've been shown so far, doesn't look interesting. I don't feel like paying
well,
for it.
and we've had that
So-
with other movies that, yeah.
But the funny part is that the media
Mhm.
takes it as if you were to read stories right now, it says internet trolls messing up how good this movie can do. There's not
I'm gonna
considered
interject.
trolling. It's an opinion of how interested I am about seeing a product.
Mhm.
It's not saying the product sucks. It's going to be bad.
it's interest
it's
based
not a
on what-
review.
yeah, I got you.
It's a interest meter.
Yep.
So that's not trolling.
No,
That's what I'm trying
that's
to
your
get at.
interest. Yeah, I
Well,
absolutely.
here's the
get you.
thing now. Like these movies now have a certain agenda, so you go against their narrative. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, again, this is the thing I noticed, especially now in the modern times with all this new wave feminism and all this other nonsense. Sorry, it is. People have certain agendas and certain political things to push, and they like to do this with a lot of the media that we watch, especially with movies. Now, I don't know much about Captain Marvel. I think it's kind of ridiculous that people are fussing and fighting over a movie that hasn't even come out yet. They're judging a movie that you haven't even seen yet. You don't know anything about it, which I find it kind of.
No.
But I kind of see why people will go on this tangent on it, especially after what Brie Larson, the main actress, has
Yeah.
said on about
her opinion on what quote unquote old. She said a comment which was kind of
Yeah, so you
Her,
didn't,
her
so you
comment
didn't
was
fo-
just based on the press tour. It's all white
But-
dudes on the press tour.
right
And I understand her comment. She would like to see more
diversity.
And
That's
she
fine.
sought out,
Well,
I think Vanity Fair, she sought out one of the reporters who was actually in a wheelchair. She said, I would like this reporter to do my interview. I'm all good
That's
with
fine.
that. Hey, by all
But here's the
means.
thing,
And I
if
find
she
it funny.
presented it.
Yeah. I don't know how she present, but from what I heard, I heard what she said, and that's
Quite
you know,
frankly, hey,
and I'm like, hey,
I don't.
if you want
I,
to
have,
do
doesn't
that,
I
matter
don't
who-
want.
then
I
that's
don't
cool.
care what
Yeah, I
a
don't care.
40-year-old white guy has to say about
yeah.
what opinion of
Yeah.
A Wrinkle in Time is.
Yeah.
This movie wasn't made for you. Like
That was kind of
that is. It's rude, man, and
It's
it's
rude, but I
sexist, and it
Hey,
is.
who said that? Who said
That's
that?
Brie Larson.
Yeah, she did
Hang
say
on,
that.
she said Wrinkle in Time?
Yeah,
she
Wrinkle in
doesn't
Time.
care about
This
what a
is-
white old.
Is
she
that the
in-
one with
is she in?
Oprah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she in
And
Wrinkle in Time?
I don't think so.
young Captain Kirk, what's his name?
Yes.
Yes.
Chris
Please,
Pine?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
here,
Okay, I
here's a
didn't
little thought.
But here's the thing, but
maybe
hold on.
hold up. Maybe this is a whole total discussion I can get into. Like,
Yeah, you can-
since when does color have to do with a person having an opinion of?
Well,
a movie?
here's the thing, and here's the thing.
That,
and
I
here's-
mean,
hold on,
that's
hold
a
on.
great question.
And
In the
and
merits
that's
of a
what I
movie.
was just trying to get at. There's a lot of this new agenda going on. There's like this political agenda going on, and especially with the, I'm gonna get into it. Like a lot of the left wing media and then versus the right wing media. A lot of these, I could go on forever about it. This is not really a podcast. I'm talking about that, but it's more of a political agenda where they're trying to set up a divide, pretty much.
Yeah, divide. It is
I,
exactly that.
I would agree. I mean, there's like lots of movies I like, which I guess to what you're saying aren't geared towards me. Like, and I'm not. I don't know how to say this. How do I
What
say
do you
this
mean?
nicely?
Well, look,
Like,
look,
well, I'll go back to the '60s. Like Shaft. I like the original Shaft. A lot of Pam Grier movies back then.
You're
I
not allowed
loved a lot of Pam.
Well,
I
according
thought they
to-
were great. I mean, and again, I
Not
will
allowed to
say
like that.
Quentin Tarantino introduced me to that. What would you call those movies? Soul movies?
No, they're
70s
called
souls?
blaxploitation films.
Are
they?
Blaxploitation films?
I don't know. Like, I mean, they had like I know they're called souls. Like my Shaft VHS has like a soul cinema. I
Not
think it's
allowed
soul
to
cinema,
like
right?
that stuff,
But
Glenn.
I'm not allowed. But I enjoy. Like I thought it
Well,
was
that's what I
good.
mean.
I
This
mean,
is the
maybe I
thing.
don't understand a
this
lot
is
of
the-
the things,
and
but
this
I
is the thing.
watch it and I liked it. And I
Yeah.
will say I think Quentin Tarantino with a lot of
Tarantino's
his.
a goddamn genius, though. Like
No, but like he kind of like when I seen Jackie Brown and was introduced to Pam Grier, I'm like, hey man, that I like this Pam Grier chick. And then kind of doing a lot of stuff on the DVDs. I'm like, oh, Pam Grier had a bunch of movies. I would go back and watch some of those old movies. I'm like, oh man, this movie's really fucking awesome. Like the original Shaft. I watched the original Shaft and thought the original Shaft was like a really really cool kind of movie.
Well, yeah.
So I don't think it's.
And
You're right. Movies, sure, they could be. And again, I know
But I
Black
don't-
Panther's different because it was.
Black Panther wasn't.
No,
that
no,
great.
no. But the way it was embraced, and by all means, you can embrace it like that.
Of
It
course.
was embraced the way Wonder Woman was embraced. Now, I'm not saying anything like that, but
But did it? deserve
I
any
still-
Rewards,
no,
Oscar?
we won't
No,
get
we're
into
not
it.
gonna
It was
get into
it got, as you also said, it got the awards it should have got. That's fine. We're good at that.
And
but-
there's movies that are catered towards specific groups. That's fine. Like, look, there's one coming out right here, Medea's funeral.
Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, she
There's-
died.
Look,
Is this one?
no, Medea's
Yasser.
whatever the heck it's called. Medea goes to
You
the
know you
funeral.
watched that too. You.
My-
were-
I haven't seen it now.
Look,
I want to see
But
it.
listen, my
I'm a
point
huge
is like,
Madea fan.
hell no, will you ever catch me seeing that movie?
Oh,
Because
I'm
it
first
doesn't-
in
Hell
line for
yes,
that.
I'm
Okay,
there
but see,
day
I
one,
see what I
baby.
mean?
Props to that,
But-
Yasser. I
but-
can't wait for that.
But
they're trying to reach.
But
They
you
can't
listen,
do it.
But if you like it, I would respect your review because you're a fan of it. So I want to know your take. Just because you're not black and you're not 70 years old, you can't. I don't trust the opinion of what you think of the movie. That's just
Hey,
silly.
I agree with you.
So yeah, I
But that's-
agree
that's
on
the-
Brian's point
that's
that
the
if
thing.
movies are being made for certain groups of people,
not
I
made-
think
that's-
movies are made. It's an
it's made for
art form and
everybody.
it's made from everyone. It's like saying
It's like-
someone paints a painting. Oh no, only white Jewish dudes can look at this painting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Everybody
But
can
I see
enjoy
where-
the form. I
okay,
don't know
so
why there's hate.
back to Brie
Everybody
Larson.
should enjoy.
Okay, so
what's
what should have Bree said? What's her point? What did
Well,
she
I
want to
could
get
see where
across?
she was coming from because a lot of the people that are judging
media.
movies,
Okay.
like the people in general that are giving these movies 5 stars or whatever, are usually like, I guess, the older generation of people basically old. I don't want to say old white men, but pretty much old white men that really much aren't really in touch with what's going on today, like in today's standards or whatever. I don't think she kind of meant that. I want to hear a different
Voice.
Not these same guys
Right.
that are high up there that are pulling the strings. She doesn't care about that. That's what I took from it. I could be wrong.
I saw in the
But-
okay, go on.
but
Sorry.
the way she presented it, it came off, and a lot of the times there's a lot of people that are fed up with this quote unquote third wave feminist bullcrap or all these social justice work. There's a lot of people that are just up to their.
Yep.
That's why Donald Trump's in power. Sorry.
Yep.
But people are just fed up of this right now, and the thing is, you always hear about the left-wing people running up and protesting about stuff. You don't really hear the normal-sided people saying anything. And now these people are getting a voice, and they're just slowly getting fed up. And that's why I think there's this big backlash on this social justice Brie Larson nonsense.
But it's a take if you don't agree with Brie Larson, it's sort of like you're
now they wanna-
like we're messed up to think like
But that's what
like
they're trying
oh
to
yeah,
push
well
to.
white people should be in media. No, the point is like,
Well,
hey,
I
how
think-
about this? Like, because I saw an amazing video someone did.
Mhm.
How about this? How about Brie Larson go out in public and say encourage people of color in the minority to get into these jobs more, to go to school, to aim to be an amazing
Here's
reporter.
my thing.
It's not the whose
Isn't
fault.
it-
Whose fault is
Yeah.
it that the majority is Caucasian? Whose
Well,
fault is that?
yeah,
That
that's
is
what I'm
also
thinking.
true.
Like, isn't
That
that
is
the
also
isn't that
But who
the
says
company?
the majority is Caucasian though?
Well,
Like,
According
I
to
don't
her, it is right.
even-
I mean,
Okay,
we're
fair
not at these press tours, obviously. I mean,
But
I mean, here's
but
the
it-
thing:
but
the
the
people
reality
I
is-
follow, I guess, are.
But look at the look. All
But
you have to do
the
is look at
company-
YouTube and ET. Majority
Yeah.
is white.
Yeah.
Fine, but like now you're starting to see more diversity, right? But
Mhm.
And
the
nobody's
point is that
holding
you
you
should
against that.
instead of spinning it in a positive note, saying, "Hey, I would love to see more diversity in my press tour." She didn't have to say, "I don't care about the opinion
That's
of
the
a
thing.
white
I
person."
think
That's
that's-
the part that I'm
She
trying
Oh.
to
came off
Oh,
horribly
okay.
like that. She came off
Oh.
too. And here's the thing, and I'm sorry, I hate hearing this in the media. Like this new, again, I want to say this new left wing nonsense. This left wing progressive. It's like the new thing these days. It's the cool thing to be what's the word, derogatory towards, quote unquote the white man. Anything white, like people are always.
the norm.
It's the norm now. It's like, oh, you're white. Oh, you're the cause of this. You're the cause of that.
yeah,
And I'm
you,
just
you
like,
must be privileged because
you're privileged because you're a
because
white
you're in that
person,
position.
you
It's
know?
like
No,
maybe
no,
that
it's not.
person worked hard to get there.
That's
You know what I mean? Like
I agree with
maybe
Gabe,
that
and
person
that's-
actually went 5
and-
years to school, studied, started off on a low YouTube channel, and eventually made their way to the thing. And hey,
or whatever. Like this whole white.
See, and it's weird because a lot of the people I follow within different circles, it's everything. Like one of my favorite YouTube reviewers
Uh-huh.
is oh my god, the guy we watch. Jesus,
Don't tell me
I
angry whatever.
No, no,
That
no.
guy's a goof.
Oh my Titus, who does the
Magnus.
Magnus. Like he's won awards and stuff like that. Like,
Again,
but then,
again,
like you said, I can go through different things. There's not one set of, if you want to quote unquote race, I'll follow for reviews.
exactly.
I'm across the board with everything.
How
so
do you- Yasser,
maybe
what-
it's,
what-
I don't
most
know. What do
people
you
are.
think, Yas?
What's-
I enjoy black people's reactions to trailers and their subsequent reviews.
Nah, Magnus Tyrone, that's his name. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying maybe it's again we're not living our eyes through every single person. Maybe
Well,
we
that's
hear
right.
that stuff within Canada. We are there's so much different reviews we get to see through whole not just the Caucasian type thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's not. I
So
don't think to
maybe
say
maybe
it's
there
here.
is a different parts where people are just
don't know,
all
like-
stuck on that. So we're hearing more of that. Where like I said, a lot of the reviews I have is from just from everything. Do you know what I
And that's
mean?
the
Like,
thing, and I do believe there's.
so
there's
I
a
don't know.
lot
Maybe
of, to
we
me,
see it differently because we're
Okay.
not so much.
It's an agenda,
within
and I'm
and then-
sorry because I see a lot of diversity.
I agree with the
I
agenda
see,
part.
A lot of diversity. I see black,
That's what I'm
white,
saying. I
Asian,
see a lot of
whatever.
diversity as
But
well.
the thing is, they want to still push this idea that this whole they want somebody to blame.
But
And
okay,
that's the
so
problem.
with all these
Also-
celebrities have said inappropriate things and they've lost their careers, why isn't Brie Larson taking
Well,
any heat?
here's the-
Heat?
well,
That's
here's
my
the-
question.
Because I'll tell you why. Because it's the norm now to disrespect or be derogatory towards the quote unquote the white privilege. This whole I think it's all bullshit to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's no white privilege.
But I
or
mean, the
black
people that
privilege.
got offended deserve to be. They have the right to be offended. So why
And
are
I
they looked upon as like trolls?
Because they're going against the narrative. They're going against what
Anyways,
the
that's
media
all.
wants to push. And I'm sorry, that's what it is. Well, for example, we're talking about Rotten Tomatoes and so on. The media, for whatever reason, here on a certain movie that I enjoyed.
Did they hate your movie?
Well, they gave it a now it's like a 60.
Alita?
Yeah, it's like 60.
But who
But
gave
you-
it? Rotten Tomatoes
but you-
gave it that.
Rotten Tomatoes, of course.
But to be
but
fair,
but
other
the
movies-
critics,
Now, what did
60's
Cinema
not-
Score give it?
A
A plus?
or the audience score was
Audience
high.
score.
The
The audience score was
is high.
93.
Yeah,
Okay.
90,
the audience
yeah.
score was 93.
See,
versus
there you go. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Speaking of which,
Put it this way, critics have no. Here's my thought, and this goes back to different movies I've been looking at, and we've talked. Critics see movies all the time, right? So yeah, they start to have this. That's why I always find it. They just hate because it's not what they want to see.
exactly.
Because they have a certain thing. That's why I enjoy, and as I said just previous, I like audience telling me what is. You know, if I'm going to look at
Because
something,
exactly.
again, you look at that.
Mhm.
You look at something like a Suicide Squad. The audience scores so much higher because people just went and had fun watching it.
I didn't
That's
fuck
the-
with it, but yeah, I
No,
know.
no, but look at the audience score versus
Exactly. I agree.
the critic score. People thought Aquaman was going to be garbage. Everything said
was.
Aquaman was going to be bad, bad, bad. We go out, we love it, and the audience
Well,
loves it, right?
You guys liked it. Right?
Don't we won't get started. And it's $1 billion paycheck. shows
Aquaman
you a
is
lot
better
more.
than Alita, just to let you know.
Whoa,
Spoiler alert.
This
okay?
could
No, not
cause right now.
Friendship.
This is Ronda Rousey
About-
versus Becky Lynch right here.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Let's get into it.
Avatar is better than Alita.
Listen, did you know Avatar was just a test run for Alita?
Are you absolutely shitting me
Sorry,
right now?
I'm serious as I'm.
Oh,
Okay, are we going into it? Let's go. It's time. It's
hold on.
time. It's time.
Listen,
Hang on. Hang on.
James
Hang on.
Cameron- I would-
Hang on. Hang on.
I screwed that up good.
Don't tell the audience, the tens and tens of people.
Don't worry. It's been on all day screw up.
Oh, I thought we were going off the air. Okay.
The Royal Conservatory on Anime Preservation is proud to
Is this
present to
spoiler
you
free?
another
can
episode
spoil
You can spoil
of
it
the
now.
Brian
Play it now.
Austin Anime Corner. Now get out of here, you vagabonds!
Gotta yell.
That's just not having any of this.
Look,
Here's the thing.
to try. I don't know.
We're
Try
gonna
to
watch
keep it spoiler free,
Well, I want to.
but it's okay if you spoil it.
no,
it's
we're
fine.
watching it tonight. I'm gonna tell Faiza.
Because look, I was gonna watch it today, just like so busy during the day, and then after
Watch it.
3, I definitely can't do it because then I have to go get the kids.
Mhm.
So I was gonna watch it today online, and I watched the first 5 minutes of it, and I had to shut it down. I was like, "This is a movie I need to see in the theater."
we're gonna see it right now.
100%,
We're going.
yeah.
Yes, we're going. We're going after. We're gonna tell Faiza.
No,
Let me talk to Faiza.
You're not saying no.
I don't know about that, man.
You're not talking to us.
Don't get in that battle.
Okay, so basically, as a fan of this comic or manga since high school, I have never seen.
I never heard you talk about her in high school. Just
Well, I
This
used to
is
look it up.
with all the podcasts we've talked about,
never.
with all the recommendations we've
Has
asked
it
you
ever,
to throw
has
out.
it ever come
You've
out?
never brought this
Thank
up.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, whatever. I like this.
Not
thing
to say
from-
it could be your favorite.
It's
Maybe
not
you
my
forget
favorite.
about.
It's not
You
my-
just said it's been your
It's
favorite
been
since
one
high
of my favorite. I used to love this thing in high school. Listen, my favorite all-time.
One,
It's
but
One
it's
Piece.
never come out.
Listen, my all-time favorite anime is One Piece.
We know this.
Yeah.
We
And
know
that
this.
is
We
clear.
know this. This
But
is
Battle Angel Eve is one of those
truth.
things-
Truth to power. We know One Piece is your
That's
thing,
my
man.
jam.
All right, that's
But
your
you know,
jam.
for and I second that, I probably like Ghost in the Shell more than Battle Angel, but not the movie. God, no, not the movie.
I liked.
The live
I
action
liked the
movie.
movie.
Was
I
terrible.
liked the live action.
They went
movie.
right. They didn't. Let's not. We'll talk about it another time. But it was not a good adaptation. They just missed the mark with the story and with the concept of Ghost in the Shell. They missed
Compared to the original source, maybe, but as a movie, it's
yeah,
fine.
but
It's
you know, at
good.
the end
It's
of the
enjoyable.
day,
It's
doesn't
more than-
matter, whatever.
And I'd like to bring up the point that I read an article yesterday
Mm.
about the whitewashing of Alita Battle Angel, which I thought was hilarious
Because
because I
she's
was like,
Latina. She looks like Dora the Explorer. From
yeah,
half
it was
the
just
movie.
funny. It was just funny. I read
But-
that, but
What the hell is that?
Anthony's calling.
Oh,
Wants
what?
to join the chat. Let's
Oh.
see.
Let me guess.
Answer.
Anthony's gonna come online and say
Hello.
he's the
He's
biggest
late.
fan. He's the biggest fan of Alita.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, can you
What
hear
up,
us?
Can
buddy?
you hear us? Can you hear him on the
Yeah.
chat?
Hello.
Oh no.
Where are you, Anthony?
whole system. shut
We
down.
can hear like the feedback.
Why
through
aren't you
the-
here?
Do you have the speakers on?
Oh no, let me get my headset. Let me sign off for a bit and then I'll come back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anthony trying to call.
Yeah, you can. Don't answer. Yeah,
Is Ernest here too?
Brian, did you
Can you
answer?
hear-
Yeah, I did answer.
Yeah, no, you need to hang up.
All right.
Can you hear feedback from me? I'm just on the street.
Shoot!
What is going on?
Dude, guys.
Collins, guy,
Good,
Collins.
Good. This is good.
Okay.
Good. So, anyways, I'm going on
you
about.
guys called me.
What?
I don't know.
No. Anthony called everybody, I guess.
Let's establish some rules here. Like only one person can talk at a time, otherwise things are gonna get really weird.
Yeah, tell that to you and Glenn.
Say something, Ernest.
Yeah, I'm here.
Is that too
Yeah, it's
loud?
on the street.
Perfect, perfect.
Is that too loud?
It's perfect.
Let's discuss the first thing that Glenn talked about today about the whitewashing of this movie, which
It's an article I read.
Yeah.
I'm not specifically saying.
and
it's
I
an
also,
article
and I
I
also
read.
read
That's
an
all I'm
article
saying.
that she was overly sexualized, which I think was ridiculous.
Hey, Ernest,
Oh,
can
who,
you
you
come?
talking about
right?
Alita?
Them eyes.
Yeah.
Ernest, can you hear them? Okay, on your side.
Yeah, I can hear them all right. I just
Oh,
I'm on
that's
the street,
awesome.
so it's like it's harder to.
Hang on.
It's harder
If
to
you're on
hear
the
them,
street, can we get you just to randomly walk up to somebody and interview them about Alita? Will you be the man? Are
No,
you our man
I'm
on the
not going to
street?
do that.
Can you do that for a coffee?
Wait, can we
Will
even
you just
start-
walk up to random people in the street and ask them, "Hey, I'm live on the podcast. We just want to know what you think about Alita"?
I like making all these notes for no reason.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
All
All right, Brian.
because
Okay.
Hey, I'm back.
nobody
Sorry.
knows. Oh, there you go.
What game is this?
Okay. Brian's getting angry, so we'll let him continue. Okay, Brian, go.
Okay, so we're gonna first talk about this whitewashing of it. And a lot of these new quote unquote manga whatever adaptations. I think it's absolutely like a lot of people are complaining about Ghost in the Shell being whitewashed, which I think is absolute bullshit because especially with something like Ghost in the Shell or Battle Angel, they're both.
Yeah, the whole whitewashing argument is absolute
Oh my
horseshit.
God!
It's like
Hey, Anthony, why does it look like you're talking on the like? Aren't you home? Why is the cheapest headset do you have on, dude?
Why is it that your microphone's in your mouth?
Yeah, how's
Gamer.
Ernest sound better than you do?
I have no idea.
There we go.
Maybe
That's
it's,
better.
What game is this?
The call
That's good. That's
quality.
good.
Go on. Sorry. Go on.
Continue, Brian. Continue, Brian.
So it's absolutely, especially for something like Battle Angel, where with the actual source material, you read the manga, the doctor is pretty much a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. Like and you have the main bad guy, which is a black dude, just like the story. So
Oh, they're just complaining for complaining.
yeah, it's just
dude.
and then
You know
and
that.
then Alita, you can't even tell what Alita is. I don't know if she's like what she is. She's
No, but
just,
remember we talked about this. Like
yeah,
in the movie, they explained why she looks like that.
exactly. Well, people need to watch the movie because she's a Martian cyborg. And when you want to get into the actual mythos of her, I'm actually reading the backstory of her. There's a new comic called the Mars Chronicles. If you guys want to check that out, and it talks about her origin story. She's pretty
It's not
well.
bad, you, but yeah.
Huh? Yeah, it's not. It is new. It just came out of the last thing came out like before the movie, but the one you're talking about is Last Order. That's another one. But anyways,
Just a quick cut.
Anyways, yeah.
Why are warriors? The whole sole purpose is to beat this, to be warriors. Why were they developed to like feel and fall in love?
Well, no, that's not
That's
like
not-
they're cyborgs.
they're
Yeah. So
still-
why does
they
a
can do
cyborg
whatever
have
they
to have
want.
feelings and fall in love?
Because a cyborg is still a human
Cyborg is still a human.
with
yeah.
robotic
Yeah,
parts.
Oh, sorry. So, what do you mean?
She has a human brain. She's a
Oh,
human,
right.
Yeah.
You're right. I forgot. She wasn't.
which is kind of
built-
funny
got it.
because
Never
later
mind.
on, like a spoiler alert.
Why was I programmed to feel?
Yeah,
I was thinking of an android. I'm sorry.
yeah, but the whole thing back to the whitewashing. I think it was totally ridiculous because when you look at the actual movie,
What the hell does that sound?
the main. Oh, jeez, is that the wife? So, anyways, like the movie, she's Latina
Yeah,
pretty much.
the whole whitewashing argument, that's like the least of the movie's worries.
There's no
That's
whitewashing, though.
Arguing
That's
for
the thing.
arguing's sake.
There's no whitewashing. Like
There isn't. there
Alita's
isn't.
like she looks like Latina or Spanish or whatever to me. I don't know.
I think she's meant to be, right?
I don't know what she's meant to be.
She looks like a treasure troll to me.
She looks like Dora the Explorer cartoon. Like,
Whoa.
that's pretty much what she reminded me of, Dora the Explorer, like a badass version of Dora.
Dora
Hey,
the
stop
Explorer.
sexualizing this movie.
What about when she got that sweet breast upgrade?
Yeah, the A cup thing. That thing was ridiculous, and people are complaining about that.
That was
too.
her choice. That was her
Okay,
choice.
apparently she's being
Alright.
over sexualized because of that. Because of her, she looks like a teenager gymnast. I don't know.
People overthink it, man.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing sexualized about this character at all.
All right, back to your review, Brian.
So back to my review, like as I said before, like watching the OVA again. I've actually watched it beside each other. Someone's coming, and yeah, the OVA and the first three novels, the first three books of this.
Did anyone else outside of Brian and myself watch the anime?
Yasser was supposed to.
Do you really
Nope,
have to
I've
ask that?
Never seen it.
No, I mean
Yeah.
just to compare it to the movie.
It was
Because
shot
it's
for shot.
relatively short. It's like it's not gonna eat up a lot of time.
It's like 55
but yeah,
minutes.
it doesn't hold up well.
Oh, cool.
Then why am I going to spend time watching it?
No, it is, but
For the cringe factor.
they're still cringe.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, well the voice acting, but
No,
go on.
no, nothing.
But we're gonna talk about the actual plot and the script and how it was written. To me, the screen adaptation to this movie is probably one of the best things I've seen in a long time. Compared to the fact that they were able to fit this OVA story with the first three books of this manga were absolutely phenomenal. I mean, and there's the way they kept to the source material, and they did changes. Even the little changes that they made, or the directions that they went, worked for the movie. I actually enjoyed the movie
Yeah,
better
and
than
it does work.
you know, like give or take. There's a few lame things that happen. Like I don't know. I even think Hugo
There's a
wasn't
lot
as
of lame
bad.
things
Like,
that
I
happen,
thought
but,
Hugo
yeah.
was lame at first, but then when I kind of watched it for like the fifth time, he wasn't that bad.
You know,
Wait, sorry.
he was still lame, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't as he didn't have that edginess that you would that the anime that he was depicted with in the anime.
Not at
No,
all.
no, no. In the anime, hold on.
he was-
To be
he
fair,
was-
in the anime, he was
he was
depicted as a little kind of grimy loser
Yeah.
kid. Like,
Sorry, who are you talking
like,
about right now?
talking about Hugo,
The
the one,
lover
Mr.
boy.
Abs.
Oh, friggin'. Dude, that guy's friggin'
Horrible.
That guy's a child, dude.
Why didn't they
He's
get?
a child. He was a child in that thing too.
Why didn't they get an actual actor for that
He is
role?
an actor.
I don't recognize him from anything.
I don't either, but it doesn't matter.
And okay, so if he's
I
not,
don't remember.
So,
I don't recognize
So-
Rosa Salazar.
so
or
if he's
whatever
not
her
like
name
the
is.
original Source, where it's like this little scrawny guy that fixes things, it's just a nerd, right? If they,
No,
if
he
they
doesn't.
decide,
He fixes things and he steals people's
Okay,
spines.
fine. So if they decide, okay, we're
his
gonna
buddy
change his,
behind
we're
him.
gonna
I'm
change him.
fix my audio.
Okay, fine. We're gonna change him up a little bit and make him a little bit more sexy, more appealing. Why does it look like this guy's never could never if he got into a fight, he looked like he would lose 100 times because he doesn't look.
Dude, he
rugged.
looks like that in the comic. He's more pathetic. He's just like shit. This guy was doing parkour. Come on, he was doing parkour, running away at one point.
Yeah.
The other guy in the comic just ended up getting gutted.
Hey,
he
man.
didn't do shit.
Hey, look, nobody with those friggin' rock hard abs, all right? Nobody that looks like that is not capable of doing the shit he does, all right? Like, he's
At least
not
it-
scrawny or anything.
Well, and then yeah, I kind of thought, hey, you know what? I thought he was lame, but he wasn't as bad as I thought he was initially.
I don't know, man. That scene where he's taking off his shirt and he's in bed, I felt uncomfortable.
Yo.
I don't know why.
Because he probably had a little hard on.
Yo.
for him.
No, not at all. It just
You
looked.
love
It
those
looked.
abs.
It was just like,
I love the abs.
what am I looking at here, guy? Can you move on with the story?
Whatever, dude. That's part of the
No,
story.
that's why Brian watched it like several times.
That's why Gabe felt
Gotta
uncomfortable.
No.
Gabe's like,
But my
those
point is,
seats, guys.
my point is, what is the general audience for this? Is it like 13-year-old girls that are mostly coming to see this movie? No.
well, it's for more of a. They have it a PG-13. They kind of want to,
What? Get the 13-year-old girls hot for this guy?
whatever, man. I don't know. Like, fuck. He's like. Whatever.
Look,
That's
man,
like
It should.
all I'm saying is that was-
It should have been like a more of like an awkward, cute. This guy falling for the robot. I don't know. It just didn't seem right. It's like to me, it felt forced. Fine if the anime does it well, but in the movie as is, like I almost wish they didn't have that whole
But
aspect
that was
of it.
one of the
Dude.
big things in the anime, though. That's a big, like, and in the manga too. That's that whole thing was a big deal. It made her change her way of thinking.
And also, can I? This is
Or
like
growth. That was
I'm
like a
jumping a
growth.
little ahead here, but what is the okay? So like, they have a whole army of these like Elitas, right? At the beginning, back in the when they show the flashbacks, and they're a huge threat.
Yeah.
But recently, they essentially get all wiped out, right? So why is this one little girl significant in the story? And what is she gonna do if a group of hers couldn't do shit years ago? Why is one person gonna do anything?
Oh, those hard-hitting questions,
I
guy.
know it is, guy. No, Brian.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just. I'm trying to think back to the story about.
Is that any better?
Yes.
I was one little girl gonna do something. Well, first of all, I they don't really explain the fall that much in the comics. I can't really remember. But all I know is like the main bad guy.
Hold on a second, guys. All right.
The main bad guy in the movie, the guy that looks like Dr. Wily from Mega Man. Not Dr. Wily, Dr. Like
Dr. Eggman?
Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Robotnik?
Yeah. Like that dude, like
Come on, like when I saw that guy on screen, I almost chuckled. They look so bad.
he looks exactly like that in the
Which
comic
guy?
book.
The Dr. Robotnik.
Which guy? Oh,
He's-
that guy?
He's talking
Yeah.
about what's his name? Nova.
Wait. Who?
Nova.
Ed Norton's character?
Yeah, who's Nova? He plays this rogue scientist from the city that they're actually trying to get rid of because
Whatever.
yeah, well,
It's your first introduction to the guy.
yeah, but he's like a
But he
enemy of the
didn't like
state
it,
sort of
he
thing.
didn't instill any fear or threat. Like that's the part that's kind of weird, right? I know, find the source. You know,
You didn't think they convey that he is a bit of a threat? The fact that he can get himself
into
connected
people.
into any
Yeah, but he only got himself connected one person at a time. I never saw a scene where he's like controlling hundreds of people.
He doesn't have to.
Dude, I wanted to laugh so hard when I saw him for the first time in the hologram. You know
He
what I'm
looks
saying?
like that in the comic.
He looks
He
stupid.
looks just like
He
that.
looked like
He looks exactly like
dude,
that.
it looked like a cutscene from a video game. It looks. I was
Yeah.
just like, what the hell? That part where they're like training, it's like that Nova's your enemy.
She didn't
And
say
then
Nova's
see,
your
like
enemy.
yeah, yes, she did. Remember
She
what's her
didn't say
name?
Nova's your enemy.
Michelle Rodriguez's character.
Yeah.
She's like, he's your enemy, and then he shows up in like a hologram, like just to show who he is, and it looks so fucking dumb. Like he looked like a Halloween costume, you know?
He looks exactly like that from the cartoon, the comic, like the manga.
In the comic, he's wearing a Halloween costume.
In the comic, he's wearing a shirt and tie. And he's wearing a shirt and tie with the and basically what he does is and he has those glasses on.
The little Ray Bans,
Pretty much those cool
Little
looking glasses.
Ray-Ban.
Yeah, but this guy's
future Ray Bans.
so this guy's a basic. He basically. I'll freaking
Okay,
ruin it.
just give
Spoiler.
an overall
Okay,
story.
spoiler
What
alert,
is
spoiler
no
alert.
no
Basically-
spoilers? What is the point of the movie? This movie.
Well, hold. The point of this movie is her introduction and her trying to find out what she is in this new world. It's her being reborn into this new world and she has no clue of what's going on. It's her journey story.
So there's like a mechanic guy that finds her, the doctor,
Mhm.
finds this robot one day in a junkyard. We're not going to tell the whole story, but essentially he's finding this thing, and then this little creature, not knowing who she is or memories of who she is.
Mm.
And from then,
Oh, then from there, like she ends up having memories of her past life, and then
and slowly she starts becoming herself more slowly throughout the movie.
slowly she starts.
Well, he
remembering
built
stuff.
her. He built her just so he could replace his daughter, basically.
And in the manga, he rebuilds her to basically. It's kind of this weird.
What? Here we go, something sexual.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
It was
Here
kind
we
of.
go.
He kind of like built her. It was kind of like it was not about his daughter.
Sex slave?
Not a sex slave, like you know those.
He wanted to
like
walk
a doll,
her
like a.
every
He
night.
wanted to treat her like a living doll sort of thing, and she would like get pissed off at that. And
So basically, like one of those neck beards, right?
kind of, which is kind of weird, like in a
Those
sense.
goddamn pillows.
You know, and then it's
That'd
like
be
it's.
sexy
And
little
I
pillow.
remember too reading in the manga, like you remember the first body she gets.
Yeah.
Like that was from like an old prostitute body that he finds or puts together.
So not the daughter.
No, it's not the daughter. It's like some prostitute that dies and he gets her parts and he starts putting her together. Then he's like, while she puts her together, she sees him leaving at night. She's like, oh shit, I hope he's not killing people to get parts for me. So she goes out and she goes to chase him down. And then when she finds him, it's that scene where they fight the whole thing, right? She's like, stop it. No, you can't do this for me. This is terrible. She's like, no. And then they have that whole scene where. But there they did. I actually like the way I know the daughter thing's done to death, but I like doing that with the movie, actually making it his daughter, and actually having Shirin, who's not even in the manga. Like she was just made for the OVA. She doesn't exist in the manga, but they actually tied her in as his wife, kind of thing, which was kind of cool. I don't know.
I don't know. Again, I don't know the source.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Well, no, what do you mean by she wasn't in the OVA? What are you
She
talking
was in the OVA. She was in the cartoon, but she was
in
not
the anime, but not in
She was
the
not in
manga.
like she was made up for the
Not the
anime.
manga.
No.
So Jennifer Connelly's character was never even in the manga. She
Nope.
was just added
She
to
was
the
pointless,
anime.
by the way. I gotta say, Jennifer Connelly's a good actress, but in this movie,
Wow, I didn't know there's all these actresses in
Yeah.
So Ed Norton's in this.
Yeah.
Christopher Waltz is
Yeah.
in this. Jennifer Connelly's
What's
in
her
this.
name? That guy that won. What's his
Holy
name?
jeez.
Ali Marshall.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
Marshall.
but
Marsha
I agree
Ali
with
from
you,
True
but I didn't
Detective
feel
is
like
in
she-
this?
He's in it.
Yes.
He plays.
Holy
I
Jesus!
didn't
I
feel
didn't
like she
realize
had, like-
this is really impressive.
Who
That
else? is in it?
she was impressive or anything in this role.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, she started off strong, strong enough. Like like
She
she's deep.
basically
but
plays
then-
the role of that she did in the OVA. That's basically what she
But
was
towards
basically that.
towards the end, there's something that happens drastically to her character. But you're like, I almost like
Yeah, like it
okay.
didn't transition well. Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like she made that kind of like a strong connection to it or whatnot.
Yeah, like
Well,
I didn't.
nobody
Like
gave a
her.
shit.
I would say, Anthony, like her turn. I didn't see it. I didn't
Like
see
it
it
was
believable. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Forced.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yep.
I'm with you on that.
I agree. Like she kind of just became a
have done
good person.
better because like she didn't really develop any kind of relationship with Alita or anything.
No, with the
It was
exception
just,
of the
like,
first time she
standing
met her.
there, and all of a sudden, okay, I just remembered some feelings.
Yeah, you could even like say that. Oh, maybe she had like a connection with the daughter's body, but then at
But
the
but the daughter never
she
had.
wasn't
But
even
the
using the body.
yeah, exactly. That's my whole point. Like the daughter had none of it, no connection with it. So like, where is she getting this?
Yeah, I
That's
don't
kind of
know.
like
And
the anime too. The anime was kind of it played out.
And I don't know, like all of a sudden she's slicing up robots and making these like roller derby robots for people, that killing machines.
Well,
And all of a
actually,
sudden she grows the heart of gold towards the end. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, that
That's a
part
little
was
weird.
definitely not believable. Like, I wish that they could have like done a lot more, for her to develop like those emotions or whatnot.
Those feelings.
Yeah,
Those feelings.
I'll give you guys that.
Or even what's his name? What's the black
Why
actor's
was I
name?
programmed to feel?
What's the name of that character?
Vector.
Vector. Like, I wish they would have actually like gone more like the evil sleazy route, because I feel like
'Cause he was kind of like that in the comics.
I
too.
feel like he was an okay guy that kind of took care of those punks that took pieces for him. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I know he's controlled.
Well, I wouldn't say he's an okay guy,
No,
but it
okay,
seems
fine.
almost like he was a coward, though.
He is
No,
a coward.
he
He
wasn't
was a
exactly-
coward.
Yeah,
Like,
his best moments
he
are
just
the
didn't-
most threatening moments is when he was being controlled. That's
yeah,
it.
pretty
Other than
much.
that, the guy was
By
just a
Edward
regular
Norton.
Joe.
Yeah, that's the one thing
Oh man.
a lot of the critics.
All he wanted was a little love from the doctor. Win some gold for his races. So just had a 9-to-5 job.
But yeah, I agree that character. I think he was underutilized a lot. But
Here it is. What made the movie enjoyable for me, I'm not a fan of any of the source material, is that Alita was a very, very likable character. Like, she had this like
innocence,
to her of like the world around her,
badass.
wanting to fit in with the kids around the neighborhood. All that stuff is relatable. Like, as a movie, you're cheering her on. You do kind of get this, like, even though the guy was a bad actor, under a better role actor, I think I would have actually cared a lot about that relationship. It felt like genuine to some degree, because of Alita, because of the actual actress and her emotes and her actions. And the fact that she, like, once she found out how powerful she was, she wanted to do it, like, help out, kind of use her powers for good, right? Like, her scenes when she's fighting, and she's almost fighting for, like, her family and stuff, were, like, actually endearing. Like, you actually cheer for her, right? The rollerball scene, her trying to get to what's his face, to help him out, to save him. That stuff was good. Like,
yeah, that scene was sick.
the effects were awesome. Like, this movie,
Dude, that chase. Oh my god.
I just wish things were. Oh shoot! Sorry.
Final thoughts on Lolita. Is it worth seeing?
Definitely.
Yo, I don't know.
Definitely.
1 minute left.
It's
Sorry.
worth seeing. Worth seeing for sure. Dr. King Schultz was one of my favorite characters.
Doctor Who?
And I think I think he needed to be in it more. But yeah, like overall, it was awesome.
I love that movie.
I agree. I would
The
recommend it. A visual
anime-
experience. You go see it.
Listen,
But
the
it
best-
sounds like you
the
get more
best-
out of it if you watch the original material first. because-
Probably.
the best adaptation of an anime ever
like,
done.
you'll have a lot of appreciation for this movie if you've seen
The OVA, read some of the
at
comics.
least anime.
Dude, it was the best adaptation. Like what they tried to do, and that amount of time, I can't see how they could have done a better job than this. It was absolutely phenomenal.
And if you like it, too bad. You're probably not gonna get a sequel. So sorry, guys.
You know what? I don't like your negative nonsense. You know that?
Nah, they're gonna.
No,
make a
man, Brian
sequel.
like funds the sequel.
Your nonsense. I don't like your negative.
Can you believe this guy saw it 6 times in the theater?
No, I saw it 4 times.
Theaters.
You know what? I'm gonna go after.
Oh,
I'm gonna go
man.
after this. Come on, Yas,
That's
let's
a
go.
lot.
I really want to see it.
Let's go. Tell your wife. Come on.
Yeah.
Tell her it's for me.
So you haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to go see it today. I couldn't make my way to the theater, so I watched. I started watching it online through Solar Movies,
Yeah, no.
And I
That's
watched
what-
the
that's
first
rip I
5
have.
minutes of it, and I was like, I gotta shut it off. I gotta watch it in the theater because it looks
Yeah,
really
no, it's good.
cool.
It's really good.
Yeah, so we're going now. Let's go tell your wife. I'll tell her.
Oh no.
Let's tell her.
We
tell her
have,
from
we
me.
have to stop talking.
Let's
The
take
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
is over.
All right,
All right.
podcast is over. All right.
Say bye, Anthony.
Bye, Anthony.
Oh my god.
When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings, being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology to cease and never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. To some realities, the myth for me, I sit here, mind clear, traveling adrift. Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear, from here. Just when I gaze into infinity, space. When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings, being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology to cease and never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. To some realities, the myth for me, I sit here, mind clear, traveling adrift. Oh, just let us go. When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings, being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology to cease and never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. To some realities, the myth for me to sit here, mind clear, traveling adrift. Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go. When I think about how our chemistry combines to create another state, it amazes me crazily. Flying through gamma rays, it pleases me. The nebula, a certainly beautiful, stop teasing me easily. I could ultimately spend eternity exploring celestial bodies in the farthest galaxy. Exist to contradict all of reality. I'm glad to be the When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology to cease to never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. To some realities, the myth for me, I sit here, mind clear, traveling adrift. Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go. When I think about how our chemistry combines to create another state, it amazes me. Crazy crazily. Flying through gamma rays, it pleases me. The nebula are certainly beautiful, stop teasing me easily. I could ultimately spend eternity exploring celestial bodies in the farthest galaxy. Exists to contradict all of reality. I'm glad to be the only old man in this colony. Follow me. I'm about to take you on a trip, make you feel so real without even a sip, without even a click. You could figure out the pace without even a pick. You could figure out the place without even a trace. We gon' slide through the rift. Our visuals are tripping way past tilt shift. Extraordinarily, we see planetary drift. Experience the gift as we travel adrift. Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go. Just let us. Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable turn to the possible. Oh. When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching? When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings, being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology to cease and never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. There's some realities, the myth for me. I sit here, mind clear, traveling a drift. Oh, just let us go.